It is very wicked and sinister. And it is very obvious to me this is a play of a duality ritual, and also clear example of MK Ultra. As someone that I am sensitive to energy, I pick up on when something is just quite not right. And more often than not, I realize that the things in which has been hidden is becoming blatantly obvious. These things are overt now, no longer being subtle. And this is a sign that the wicked is suffering, because there was a time where they were more covert, very, very subtle, but now it's in your face. Mass deception is at play. And so let's go to Proverbs 29:16. When the wicked thrive, so does sin, but the righteous will see their downfall. And children of the Most High God, Jesus Christ, Yahshuah, aka, there are many that are being used by hidden hands to further demonic possession in the form of spiritually turning people out, turning children out. And although there has been a major hype in regard to this particular film called Wicked, the mere fact that people are so desensitized to even take their children to see something called Wicked shows how disconnected, how people are operating from a place of being indoctrinated, having an indoctrinated mind and an indoctrinated heart. Because in your heart, you should feel that something is not quite right about these two actresses that appear to your sons and daughters. And there's a lot of adults that take part in this too that are being deceived. But I can see clear as day that this is an agenda being pushed. As I mentioned too, and let me refer to my notes here, because I picked up on this and I was like, okay, I touched on this before, but there was a few more things I wanted to touch on in regard to what I've noticed with this PR display of the wicked cast. As I mentioned about a duality ritual being projected towards the masses, the contrast between light and darkness, representing good and evil. And from a Luciferian standpoint, they have to present these rituals towards the masses because it is in order for them to bring both paths together, leading to an ultimate end, okay? As above, so below, representing the hermetic struggle, okay, between not only flesh but against blood, against soul. And this is also giving insight into the whole the play on black and white. We also saw this when it came to the recent fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, another aspect of a duality ritual. I also think, in my own personal opinion, that this is also the duality between Kamala Harris and Trump. Okay, they're showing the difference between darkness and light, but they're doing so in a way in order to yield their silent power. Also, the chessboard comes to mind when it comes to Freemasonry, the black and white tiles. Okay, so this is a lot of symbolism that's going about. And this symbolism is, although it's making it appear as if they're coming together, you know, the darkness is misunderstood, the light is being empathetic, and they're coming together. But this is an illusion. This is to put forth division, divide and conquer. But it has the appeal that there's some level of congruency, like it's coming together. These demons are not playing fair, and especially when they're utilizing children as pawns in this chessboard. This is something that we, as those that really see the truth for what it is, pay attention and not allow ourselves to be deceived, not allow our children to be deceived, because this is why they're so heavily targeting children with this type of agenda, this type of propaganda. 1 Thessalonians 5:22, reject every kind of evil. Okay. 1 John 5:19, we know that we are children of God and that the whole world is under the control of the evil one. But as I also mentioned about Proverbs 29:16, when the wicked thrive, so does sin, but the righteous will see their downfall. This is a part of biblical prophecy that we're seeing being played out in front of the world. And so in order for them to assume that they have the upper hand, they may be covert, but those of us that are truly in tune with the Most High, we can pick up on these things. And it is our responsibility. When you see something, say something. This is what the Most High has put heavily on my heart. This is ushering in the beast system. This is trying to play out a trope of identifying darkness as something irredeemable, but at the same token, upholding darkness. If you get the gist of what I'm saying, they want to destroy everything that is centered within Christ. And so this is why when it comes to the innocence of children, they're trying to harvest the energy of children's innocence, with creating these wicked dolls. And on the back of the box, they have a link to a corn site. And there's not much outrage about it. I've even seen clips of people actually seeking out these dolls in the store to see if they corrected or, pull these off the shelves. Many of them did not even take the chance to blur it out. There's some people that I see that went to these stores and they see that they just use like a Sharpie, a black Sharpie, and try to blur out or block out the link. But there's other references that people actually see that is still visibly there. So they're not by any chance coincidental that these things are happening. They're not just trying to say that, okay, this was just a mistake. These are intentional, especially when you actually know the truth of what is behind the wicked agenda, the wicked theater production, the wicked book. It is a lot of perversion involved in the actual book. And for now, this to be a movie marketed towards children, I beg to differ that it is something harmless and wholesome, especially when you see that these two actresses, no matter how they may present some level of beauty, it is an illusion because they are witches. They give me the ick. Is something off about them. It's very witchy. And even to the point where they allude to being witches. They come out and joke about it. So we have to be very watchful in this hour to guard our ear and eye gates. We can't just be watching any and everything. We can't just take any and everything in. Because a lot of the rituals that they are putting out here, the symbolism, is not even very subtle anymore. They're trying to get us entranced and bewitched and fall into alignment with whatever it is that they have in store. But as I refer to Proverbs 28 and Proverbs 29:16 once again, when the wicked thrive, so does sin, but the righteous will see their downfall. We're beginning to see the downfall of a lot of wickedness is coming to pass. Just do not be one of those that are deceived into thinking that these things are harmless, because they're not. The Most High wants us to be watchful and to move accordingly and to not allow the enemy to deceive our children.